I'm Joseph Barrow, Superintendent of Schools here in Fayette County, and we're actually on episode 2 of our COVID-19 task force update. We very much appreciate everyone that tuned in for the first initial video clip that we shared. I understand that it's been viewed over 14,000 times, so that tells me that there's a lot of interest in how things are going throughout the district, and our intent is to continue to send information out through this method as it's needed and as warranted. So appreciate the fact that everybody tuned in and watched. I also very much appreciate the fact that our staff continues to be amazing in some real unusual sets of circumstances. I know our board members were extremely complimentary of all of our staff, everybody from this task force to our building administration. Absolutely amazed by what our teachers are doing with the virtual learning plan. So very appreciative of all of our staff, our food service staff who are continuing to feed our students, our maintenance staff, and custodial teams that are continuing to work in our facilities. We're just very, very appreciative of that, and I can say that multiple times, but I wanted to start out with that lead. We're going to go around. I think we introduced everyone on our task force in our previous meeting, but I'll ask them to introduce themselves, share a little bit of information based on their area of responsibility, and then I'll be back with you to bring some closure to our meeting. So again, thank you for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Debbie King, the School Health Services Coordinator for Fayette County Schools, and I would like to give you a couple updates from Public Health. I continue to be in contact with our local health department and our District 4 health department. If you have symptoms, remember to call your healthcare provider. There are some testing sites, and they will assess you and perhaps refer you to these testing sites. You'll have to have an identification number that your healthcare provider will give you to be tested. And then number 2, the other thing they really wanted me to remind everyone is if you're in isolation, if they've told you to stay home and be isolated, that means to stay home except for medical care, to separate yourself from the rest of your family, to wear a mask if you are around family members. Make sure you're using good hygiene, which means good hand washing. Avoid sharing household items such as cups, silverware, towels, bedding. Make sure you continue to clean and disinfect, especially the high-touch items such as doorknobs, light switches. Monitor your symptoms, and if they get worse, contact your healthcare provider or call 911. To discontinue isolation, if you have no fever for at least 72 hours and your other symptoms have improved and it has been at least 7 days have passed since your symptoms first appeared. I will continue to keep updated with the health department and our public health to share information with you.
I'm Tom Graham, the Chief Financial Officer, and just wanted to give you a few updates from the areas under my control. One area is school nutrition, and I just really want to throw out a big thank you to all the school nutrition employees and staff, as well as some bus drivers and law enforcement that are helping us to distribute meals out to students in areas that have need of these. To date, we've put out about 5,500 deliveries, which equates to over 11,000 meals, since we're giving them a lunch and a breakfast. So we'll continue to do that as we see the need continue. Also, with spring break coming up, we know that's a time period that we might look at and are working on plans to do some meal service over that period. More information will come out as we get closer to that date. Another area is the warehouse. We are going out and working with UPS and FedEx on getting all the deliveries that are being held so we can centralize the receiving of those to make sure we get in our orders and get them received to keep that processing. That way those items are ready to be distributed to the schools when the students and teachers return. Also, a lot of you might be in the Peach State Reserve retirement plan, and we've been making plans to convert that to the school system plan at the end of this month, March 31st. Because of the volatility of the market, we feel like it's not a good time for us to make those changes, so we have delayed that to June 30th, and we'll do the conversion of plan assets at the end of the next quarter. And then the last thing is, we mentioned before, payroll checks. Our payroll checks will be dated March 31st, as we said before, and anyone who has a paper check can come get that check on that date, the morning of March 31st, between 7:30 and 9:30. To pick it up in person, you must have your picture ID with you. We encourage all employees to be on direct deposit, and if you wish to change to direct deposit, we'll have forms available to do that at that time. You can reach out to our payroll department through the website information if you have any questions about that. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Erin Roberson. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the school system. And first, I just want to say thank you to our amazing employees. I know that many of you are preparing meals for our students. You are delivering meals to neighborhoods. You're working in our buildings to keep them clean and disinfected. You're making sure that our school campuses are secure. Many of you are making sure our technology continues to work, and you're making sure students continue to learn. I want you to know, as many have said before me, that we have heard so many positive comments about the excellence of the Fayette County school system, and it is because of all of you. So thank you for your dedication to our school system. I did want to say just a word about contracts. We realize that we still have a handful of certified employees who have not returned their contracts. Contracts were originally due March 20th, but we extended the deadline because of the school system closure. If you have not turned in a contract, we will be contacting you soon about how you should go about returning your contract. So be on the lookout for an email from us about returning your contract to us, and that will be coming very soon. I just want to encourage everyone to hang in there, to take good care of yourself and those around you, and we will share more information as it becomes available. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mike Sanders. I'm Assistant Superintendent of Operations. Several of the departments who report to me that I'll talk to you about today are facility services, transportation, and then a special project that we worked on over the last couple of days. As far as facility services, our facility service department, they're working, custodians are working in the buildings, working on getting them clean, disinfected, just getting them prepared for the time when we do return to school. And so it'll be all the buildings will be in top-notch shape, and we are going to still disinfect the entire buildings once we get closer to the time that we know that we'll be returning to school. And when that point in time comes, we will then lock the buildings down where no one will be in or out once we have fully disinfected the schools. So that will happen in the future. All of our buses, all 253 of them, as I mentioned the last time, we were getting ready to have those disinfected, and all 253 buses have been disinfected now. They're sitting on the lot out of transportation. Once again, just like with our facilities, awaiting our students' return. And then the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about today is a project that we undertook just in the matter of really 24 hours. As many of you probably know, the healthcare facilities across the nation are struggling with basic necessities for the healthcare industry, masks, goggles, those type of items. And through the help of our CTE department and our healthcare services, our health occupation classes, we were able to pull together, and our warehouse employees delivered over 1,600 goggles, over 2,600 masks, 415 gowns, 130 surgical caps, and 250 boxes of gloves to Piedmont Fayette Hospital, and hopefully that will assist them in getting through this time. They are a wonderful partner for the school system, and it was nice to be able to give back to them for once rather than them always giving back to us. So we appreciate our partnership with all of our businesses, and hope that that is a piece that can get them through these trying times. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jim Farmer. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Fayette County Schools. I just wanted to give a couple quick updates, but before I do that, I wanted to reiterate what Ms. Roberson said and just thank everybody for how during these kind of unprecedented times for all of us, it's definitely a unique situation to be thrown into a virtual learning environment. And I think all of our teachers, staff, administrators, school support personnel, it's just been really wonderful to see the collaborations and the teamwork that's been going on. Even though it has been challenging, the effort is definitely noticed, and I think we have some really fantastic teaching and learning going on. So thank you all so much for that. Related to that, I wanted to give you an update about the virtual learning site. So this is really for our teachers and administrators. When you're signed into your Google account, at the very top left in the mailfcboe.org folder, there's the class link icon and then the virtual learning site links. So if you definitely want to check on that as often as you can, because that site is being updated quite often with information from the curriculum department as well as the digital learning team. And there's resources and guidance on the virtual learning pieces that we are pushing out, as well as tools and the templates and lots of really good information in there. So please keep an eye on that and check on that as often as possible. Also in there, in the resources section, is the link to be able to connect with our digital learning specialist. They've got office hours, they're helping doing trainings, they're meeting with teachers, they're doing all kinds of great things to support the digital learning that's going on throughout the district at all of our levels. So please reach out to them if you need any assistance and any guidance, or even any help with resources or things that you may need while trying to convert to the virtual environment. The last piece I wanted to mention is something we talked about last time, is the technical support needs that our students may have as well as our teachers. Again, we want to try to get everyone to go through the Incident IQ platform so that we have good information and can get to things in a timely manner. But for our students, if we are in need of a Chromebook repair or possibly replacement, we have the support program in the back of the LEC by the D building near the VOTEC building. You'll see cones set up, and if you follow the cones right by the back of the D building, we've got some folks there every day between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. to be able to assist you with diagnosing the issue and hopefully repairing your Chromebook. If not, we have loaners that we can give out and get your Chromebook repaired. Again, that's going on Monday through Friday up until the 31st of March. And then from there, depending on closures and extensions or the need, we'll adjust the schedule and we'll get that information out as well. Again, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Julie Turner, Assistant Superintendent of Student Achievement. In the curriculum department, we've had lots of stuff going on. Right now, we are working with principals to develop consistent virtual learning schedules for elementary schools, for middle schools, and for high schools. We feel that having some consistency across each level will help to provide some work balance both for students and for teachers, as well as allowing some time for professional learning and professional collaboration. Our priority is for learning to continue to move forward, and I so appreciate the enormous lift that teachers and support personnel have made to ensure that this is happening in a virtual setting. The things that you've done have just been amazing, and there's been lots of innovation and lots of creativity going on. So thank you so much for that. The curriculum department has begun working with teachers to prioritize the standards that are to be taught for the remainder of the year. As we finalize that work, we'll be communicating that out with teachers. The curriculum department will also be working with teachers to develop summative assessments. Those are expected to roll out at some point after spring break. Regarding grades, we're getting lots of questions about grading. At this point, teachers should be emphasizing a more formative approach to grading at this time. Once we are able to develop some summative assessments, that would be a more appropriate time to begin collecting summative grades. What's most important at this time is that students should not be penalized for late or missing work. There could be situations at home that are prohibiting them from getting their work done, and it's important that we provide flexibility, patience, and grace regarding student grades. More guidance on grades and report cards will be forthcoming once we know what our closure status will be for the remainder of the year. I also wanted to let you know that Exceptional Children's and 504 services are working diligently to provide guidance regarding accommodations, IEP services, and evaluations. Again, thank you for all you're doing to make sure that our students continue with a high-quality education.
Again, thanks to all of our task force members. Of course, Ms. Barry Dreisbach is behind the camera today, and we appreciate her putting these public service announcements all together so that you can view those. I was very, very proud that we were able to provide the support for Piedmont Fayette. We've always said that our partnerships are a handshake, not a handout. And this time it's really more an elbow bump, but great partners in our community all across the district are really stepping up, and we're hopefully being able to do the same thing. I can't tell our food service staff and all those associated with that how much I appreciate their work and effort to feed our children that perhaps have food insecurities and would not be able to have nutritious meals without that support. I know we continue to serve at 3 different school sites, and we have 4 different community sites. Again, all young people 18 years old or younger can go to these sites to pick up breakfast and lunch there, and our exceptional children, anyone that's 21 or younger, can also pick up meals there as well. So please do take advantage of that. I'll talk a little bit about the issue of school closures, because I think all of our folks have referenced that in one way or another. Initially, the governor's first order said that all school systems in Georgia would be closed through March 31st, and that's what we've been operating under. March 23rd, Monday afternoon, the governor came and gave another press release, and he's asked that we continue to practice social distancing, and has also asked some businesses to close or just do takeout. I would direct you to that news release if you want to learn more about exactly what he said. But as far as the social distancing piece, the date he gave us there was April 6th. That's on a Monday. Well, I think everybody knows that really begins our spring break, and I know we've had a lot of questions about that. And I just want to go ahead and address that very publicly. We had some discussion about that with our board. We continue to be in contact with our governor and our political leaders about the issues of school closure. I can tell our system that we will be closed for spring break, and that is April 6th through April 10th. That's for all students and staff. We want to make sure that people unplug and begin to maybe de-stress just a little bit from all of the unusual work that we've been doing. But the system will be closed down during spring break. Now, there are some contracted employees, 240-day employees, that will need to adjust their schedule and work a few days that week, but those people already know who they are. Our general regular spring break will be taken during the week of April 6th through the April 10th. So rest assured we're going to be able to provide that to you. I would want to encourage you to continue to refer to the district webpage. That is the most accurate source of information that deals with any of the school functions. We continue to update that basically on a daily basis with new information, and it's a treasure trove, I would say, of a lot of different information from a lot of different people. So I encourage you to look at that. And the last thing that I would say to anyone watching this, whether you're an employee of the district or not, we care about you. And that's really important to us. We want to provide high quality service to anyone that we see, whether that's an employee or whether that's a neighbor. That's the thing that I want to encourage is care, service, and support. And that's what we want to continue to do in reaching out, particularly to all of our employees, all of our children, and our community at large. Thank you for what you're doing. Please continue to do what's right, provide care, service, and support. And we're going to get through this thing together. That is my hope. I have that assurance. I know we're going to be able to get through this together. We'll continue to share these public service announcements as we deem necessary. Thank you, and continue to do the phenomenal job that you're doing.